Good evening, YouTube. HeirofCarthage here. I am back in Total War Warhammer, playing as the Greenskins. Looks like I'm training up a bit to get Grimgore ready to potentially defeat Thorgrim. Let's remind myself of the other moves that we have going on. Okay, this army was going to come back to the Silver Road and attempt to try and undermine the Dwarfs, I believe. So, and then down here I had this army who just finished off some savage orcs, it looks like. So that was kind of the last moves that we had been familiar with from this campaign. Still suffering some obedience issues and some other problems, but nothing we shouldn't be able to put an end to. Caragron. Wondering what I should spend my money on. I'm actually gonna save some money. Or actually, what is this? Orc Biggins, Night Goblins, Night Goblins. Might not hurt to have another place to recruit Biggins. So I'm gonna actually go ahead and spend that money. Looks like I need to pick some more research. I don't have the required buildings yet to do the Arachnarok research, which I really do want to do. Nor do I have the right research for any of this stuff, so we need to upgrade our Goblin Workshop first. Do I have any Goblin Workshop at the moment? I do. It just needs to be the upgraded version at a Tier 4 settlement. Right now the growth is 0, so I'd say that we're in good shape. Hopefully I'm experiencing something that slows my growth. No? Just no growth, huh? How is that possible? Accumulated growth populations through. Oh, we're at a maximum capacity? What? Oh, I don't have the money to upgrade that because I just spent it over here. Sorry, that was getting kind of confusing, to be honest. Or actually, I still don't have the money. So I'm at a max cap here. Yeah, got it. That explains why there's no growth. All of a sudden makes quite a lot of sense to me. Let's not spend the money on that, and let's end the turn. Looks like Nashrak. Oh, his fightiness is a problem. Yeah, whatever. Who cares? Deal with it, Nashrak. Grimgore says he doesn't care. Says if you're feeling fighty, then fight yourself. Okay, Karak Izor wants a peace treaty. That would be pretty acceptable while I'm trying to finish off other business. Okay, so Thorgrim is attempting to siege out Barakvar. That's actually pretty good. It puts him in a position where I can hit him and get some extra reinforcements. Wow, there's like all kinds of people up here that don't belong up here. So there's a bunch of like baddies up here. Let's see, so I got some Wolf Riders, some Spider Riders, so we actually have a little bit of mobility. I actually have a few Biggins. Thorgrim's army is significant in its danger that it poses to us, very significant. I kind of wish that this Thograt Cracktooth would get in here and fight these guys, but I don't think he's going to. And if I come in and fight there, yeah, this is an interesting scenario. Let's keep moving this guy back to the Silver Road because I want to put some pressure on the Dwarfs. We can upgrade this melee hero. Ooh, we can give him Vanguard deployment. That's actually super awesome. Take that. Let's heal up a few more of the troops here for well, I mean, if I... Yeah, let's heal up one more turn here. We're going to ignore Nashrak because he's a moron. We're about to have a rebellion up there, which actually really isn't ideal. Yeah, we're gonna have a rebellion on our hands up there pretty quick. But I think we'll deal with the rebellion as it comes because I really want to take the Dwarfs out of play down here. Because to me that's a better long-term goal. I do get a lot of money though from Grom Peak, so let's go with the War Fervor because I'm about to do a lot of fighting. I'm still retraining a few men, but if I go into this movement, I can get in behind Thorgrim and single him out without having to deal with these bad guys there. So let's see how that works out. It'll be a bit of a risk, but let's try it. Oh, did I forget to move my other army? I hope not. I very well might have. I'm kind of in a hurry here. Okay, yeah, now we should be able to put some pressure on Karak. And I've got this army here that should be able to pincer Thorgrim between my garrison. And we get 2 more big uns out of the garrison. So this will allow me to pincer up Thorgrim a little bit. I'm going to control the large army. We've got Vanguard deploy on Rotmouth Turdmuncha as well. The biggest key here is going to be taking down these Thunderers. The Thunderers are going to be a significant threat. And then there's 5 cannons and a grudge thrower as well. Holy crap, man. This scares me because there's so many missile units in Thorgrim's army. If we can actually get them into melee, we'll have a chance. But even still, it's a good thing I've got the big uns and the black orcs. Because the Longbeards are definitely a pretty nice match against me here. So the Dwarfs are going to... They're going to artillery camp back on the hill because they can. What I want to do... I'm going to put the Black Orcs and Grimgore right here in the center. Actually, I said in the center, so I better actually move them over to the center. There we go. Now we're set. The question is, how do we want to approach this? And ideally, the answer would be not at all. I got 400 range with the Doom Diver, and they've got 420 range. Their cannons... I would prefer to take shots at my archers before anything else. Can we actually deploy in behind these guys? And I can't see the dang line. There it is. We can actually deploy in behind their cannons. This will at least maybe turn some pressure back here. If I could use those guys to draw the Dwarfs' attention from one side or the other, and then we have these guys that are going to come on from a flank position. And then I'm thinking we overload... Yeah, this will work. Let's overload this flank with our boys. And then... let's just make sure we are not within range of any of the cannons. It looks like we are not. But I'm also not within range of any of their Quarrelers. Or, I mean, they're Thunderers. I should be just outside the range of their cannons. Okay, I think we're split up a little bit here. Start the battle and let's see what we can do. I've got so many chevrons on this Doom Diver that I would hope it can do alright. I'm gonna keep these troops all right back up in here behind the Dwarves. Like I said, we're wanting to throw... Oh wow, they're turning their cannons on me. Yeah, this is gonna get ugly. Let's split up. Because their cannons, I think, are about to open fire all over me, and we're gonna need to start charging because of that. So I didn't necessarily expect the AI to just turn their cannons on me to the flank positions. Holy cannon. They just pummeled one of my reinforcing units. Let's get split up. Let's bring in our Goblin Big Boss and... Ooh, there's so many enemy skirmishers around. Yeah, we got to get out of here. We're about to get fired. We can't go in too early with our cavalry. It is a real problem. They left this cannon a little bit unprotected, so I'm going to try and seize on that. Okay, I'm just trying to stay out of range of those thunders. Big boss is going to have to retreat. Come on, big boss, get out of there. He didn't actually manage to kill anything, he just caused a little damage. Okay. Gotta keep our trolls outside of range here. How's the Doom Diver doing? It's got 20 kills. Okay, so we should be able to completely surround Thorgrim's force. I'm gonna push up skirmishers to try and take the brunt of the Thunderer's assault. Orcs are so slow. That is the main downside to them, is they are slow. Okay, those guys are outside of range. Alright. Push. I start pushing. Are they firing on my big boss? There is a massive blob going on here under center. I'm going to target it. I'm going to bring in these Wolf Riders, try and get in behind this. I'll try and let my archers do a little bit of damage before we charge in our Goblin Big Boss. Let's move this in. Keep pushing this flank in. Okay, I think we got distracting forces up. Doom Diver should be hitting right in the middle of a giant blob at this point. Bring the trolls up last. Doom Diver's really still racking up very few kills, all things considered. Okay, time to get our spiders out of here. They did their job nicely. Okay, I'm going to pause. I'm going to have to reassess the situation a little bit. Wow, this is quite the fight. I'm going to pull the skirmishers back a little. We're going to push this flank with boys. We're going to keep the spiders moving away. And then over here, we're just going to keep pushing up. I want my black orcs to trash the Longbeard with great weapons. And then I want the biggins to keep pushing the main line. Alright, so we should have a pretty solid surround. Let's hope that our Doom Diver can pick up a few more kills than they have. Haven't been real impressed with their performance yet. Okay. Let's pause it up again. I'm going to get a couple of attack orders. Keep moving these guys around. Let's roll the cavalry in from behind. I'm going to go ahead and start giving attack orders. Let's just get in here and start killing everything that we can kill. And we got the Thunders targeted. Over here, we're going to need to retarget these missile units, but let's get them pulled out of combat first. Okay, let's do this. Time to get our Wah on. Where's Thorgrim's over here? I'm gonna attempt to get to Thorgrim. Okay. Good. There's an infantry blob forming up over here that ought to be a nice target for the trolls. Get into the flank there. I'm wanting to find infantry units to chase with my own infantry, and then I'll target out missile units with other options. Okay, so I got a lot of attack orders coming in. Okay, let's get up here into the Grudge Thrower. Let's start moving in and taking out skirmishers who get isolated. I need to get... okay, Let's just get up into this blob. There's a juicy, juicy blob here for the trolls. And let's swing in behind this. Put pressure here. Let's tie down Thorgrim. And let's get Grimgor over here. Our black orcs are smashing. Let's target some quarrelers. Alright, let's see. This is a nasty fight, but it is very much going in our favor at the moment. Going much better than I expected. Just want to make sure I'm paying attention everywhere that I should be. Some long beards here who are going to need re-engaged. Okay, let's bring these archers up. Grimgor swing through here. Let's go pin down more thunders. Attack some thunderers here. Our trolls are doing well because they're in a position where they're not getting singled out by missile fire. And our cavalry forces are also doing extraordinarily well at the moment. Let's get the wolf riders move back over here. Wow, this is a nasty, nasty fight here. Grimgor's after Thorgrim. Let's take a look at some of the action up close. You can see the giant orc on dwarf brawl here. Dwarfs holding their high ground, being surrounded by goblins, orcs, trolls, all the good stuff. And it looks like the boys are very much getting the better of this engagement. And it looks like the High King himself is fleeing in a cowardly manner. Where did he get to, by the way? I would expect to see there's his giant chair. So here he is. Wonder how my Doom Diver did in the end of that. 79. Could have been better, but it wasn't bad. Let's go ahead and have them fire at some retreating units. There we go. And let's get our, let's see, where's our Wolf Riders, Spider Riders over here, Wolf Riders. Just try and get my riders chasing stuff. And let's watch, see whether or not Thorgrim is definitely not going to escape the battlefield. He's got Grimgor chasing him. He's like, all right, you men carrying the chair, a little bit faster, and someone get me something to wipe off all this blood. The blood effects on are a bit extreme sometimes. Like, I wish that they would tone it down a little bit, because like the whole like throne being completely covered in it's just a little bit weird. But I mean, sometimes the blood effects, like whenever you see the big monsters like tear people apart, I think they're extremely appropriate. So 693, Grimgor's tearing him down in a big hurry. And like I said, we got Spider Riders and other quick movers over here chasing down fleeing units. I would like to pretty well wipe out what's left of the stunted army here. Yeah, the High King's about to take a trip. He's been humbled. So the High King humbled. Let's go into Spider Cam here. This is pretty sweet. Yeah, here we go. The spiders need to feed on some stunty innards. Oh, that's sweet. So some people wonder why I like Total War Warhammer better than Rome 2 right now, or Attila, and this is why. I love the historical time period. I really do. Like, it's a lot of fun, but some of the slightly improved mechanics in this game, along with just the crazy units, like to me, it's just when it comes to a pure entertainment value, Warhammer just does more for me than Total War Rome 2 or Attila does right now, at least. I would have liked to have seen a little more love poured into those games. And some people are like, well, there's stuff wrong with this game. There is. This game's got plenty of room for improvement too, but I feel like the release of this game was much more solid than either Rome 2 or Attila. And I'm not saying that if you like those games better that you're stupid or something. I'm just saying from a personal preference standpoint, that's where I land. You definitely don't have to agree with me, and there's nothing wrong with that. Wow, we got a word save. That's awesome. We picked up some sweet loot, defeated Thorgrim. That's going to put a serious blow down on the dwarf faction as a whole here, because they just lost one of their remaining viable armies, and Grimgor scores a stunning victory. And now I'm going to be able to probably push back these insurrectionists as well, and really push the fightiness through the roof here. Those guys did get to flee further back, but I can catch them. So, I mean, like I said, we're going to keep this up. We're going to just spike the fightiness level through the roof. Just winning one fight after another here. Picked up some nice loot. And what did we get there? XP. Nice. So, we got some good work done on that turn. Let's get Master Grimgor here. And we finished Ardlads. So now that's probably part of the reason why this fight went so well for me, is because my orc biggins and my black orcs are going to be absolutely insane with all this stuff. Now I really want to get Wa up here too. That's going to make Grimgor a very potent character. So in order to get there as quickly as possible, I'm going to start throwing points into this line here. I'll start with Scarred Veteran, and then we'll move across Foe Seeker and probably dump some in Woundmaker just to get up here to the Wa as soon as we can, because that's going to give me some huge benefits to the men in my troops. We're going to get 2 skill points here. Nasty Skulker. I like that. We'll give him some extra armor piercing damage. Weapon strength is not going to be a bad thing, because weapon strength on this goblin is not all that great. Let's go ahead and dump both those into weapon strength. That's going to give him over 400 weapon strength. So that'll make him a little bit better at anti-hero, anti-lord type duties. There is another dwarf army here with Ungrim, but we've definitely got the capability to strike it down. And then I'm thinking here with this army, we'll get garrisoned at the Pillars of Grungni and put a siege on Karaz-a-Karak, and then hopefully we'll quickly work our way back up here to this province, which is attempting to rebel, and we can hopefully slow the rebellion attempt. I'm trying to think. This army down here, I don't want their fightiness to drop too low, but they should be good for a while. We've got some decent money, which means we can upgrade Blackcrag, which will have multiple benefits down the line. And let's do this upgrade. I don't need redundant buildings there. We'll swap it out for something more useful. Let's end the turn. I would say that was a rather successful battle for Grimgor. Hopefully I get a Wa army out of that as well. Sure did. Sure did. So the Silver Road's about to rebel, but I just pulled an army up there, so we're good. So now what I can do is move against the Dwarfs. Let's take Grimgor. I can capture Ungrim's army, or I can basically surround Ungrim's army here. We're going to encircle them. And then I'll just give the Wa army a target here, and I'll get all these reinforcements that can help me come wipe out Ungrim, the Iron Fist, and that's going to leave me in fantastic shape there. Let's go with Idols, and we got the Pillars of Grungni. Let's get this army here. We are going to have a rebellion here. Actually, we won't if this army stays here. But part of me thinks it would be better to just have the rebellion, because I need the fightiness right now, to be honest. Yeah, so let's just let it rebel. We'll put down the rebellion to gain the fightiness, and then we'll move on Karaz-a-Karak. And we should be able to put a pretty swift end to the dwarf faction here, I believe. Okay, the Wa army should have caught up with me. Mount Squighorn is being attacked. Okay, so this is in the Silver Road. So the rebels rebelled on the other side of the province and attacked me where I wasn't. So how terribly convenient for them. Alright, so diplomatic relations with the orcs of the Bloody Hand can either go up or it can go down and we gain money. Let's have it go up because I don't need the money really right now. Our Wa army is in position and we're ready to smash Ungrim Iron Fist. So definitely want to go ahead and take care of that smashing, and then we'll take Mount Squighorn back and get the fightiness that we needed from that. The unfortunate thing is that our settlement probably took some pretty massive damage. So we have a huge army here, and I'm obviously going to focus on throwing the Wa army out front, because I want them to soak up the worst of this. I've got a lot of wolf riders, which is really spectacular. These guys are going to be instrumental in helping to defeat Ungrim. So I'm going to stack up all the wolf riders over there. I've got my Doom Diver, and I've got my elite infantry. Let's put our elite infantry right here behind the main line for support. And then I'll put all my extra boys and air boys out here. And then I've got my own cavalry. Or trolls too. Let's keep the trolls up here. And it's another boy. Let's throw them up there. And I've got my Spider Rider boss that will stick over here. What's this? Okay, we got the boss there, and let's get Grimgor right out front too. Okay, we're gonna start the battle. I think we can draw in the dwarfs with our Doom Diver because I'll have the ranged advantage. Let's actually just take this whole big mess and push it forward, and it'll force the dwarfs to attack me because I'll get the ranged advantage. I'm going to start moving in Wolf Riders. I've got Wolf Rider archers. They do not outrange Quarrelers, obviously, so I'll have to keep aware of that. Let's fast forward and get our Doom Divers up close enough to start shooting. Yep, this has forced the dwarfs forward as expected. I'm going to target the Longbeards right in the center. I'm going to push all these guys up. I'm going to take all my missile units and put them on skirmish so that they'll run back when the fight starts. Doom Diver's already racked up 14 kills. That's good news. Alright, let's get in here and be annoying with the Wolf Riders. And be ready with our big boss. I get all my infantry. I'm going to hard group them so that I can run one giant massive charge when the time comes. Alright, so we've got... Where's my Doom Diver at? Monsieur Doom Diver! Where are you? Right here. 39 kills, very nice. Oh boy, yeah, that's a problem. Let's get in here with the Spider Rider. Some of my Wolf Riders were taking some damage there because I was distracted. Alright, let's get in here and wipe these guys the heck out. Alright, here it goes, boys. I just gave a big giant infantry charge. Let's pull the Wolf Riders up. Alright, so all my infantry is going to come forward and find itself a dwarf target. Okay, they're bringing out infantry to reinforce over here. So let's actually swing over this way and help finish off these Quarrelers first. I'm going to pull up over here. Let the fighting begin. The dwarfs are going to be pretty heavily outnumbered. I don't know if I have the range to make these attacks successfully. Swing over here. I'm gonna chase here. I'm gonna chase these quarrelers. I've got a little bit of extra cavalry over here. As expected, we're wrapping up the quarrelers out here pretty hard. Wolf Riders have gotten in behind now and are starting to unleash some volleys. And then my Doom Diver is pasting. Woo! Those Wolf Riders are getting hammered now too. Let's move away from this unit here. Let's get our Wolf Riders into these quarrelers just to stop them firing. I'm going to get away from these Longbeards. Let's just do a big giant rear charge over here on these miners. Should be able to get a lot of Wolf Riders into the back of this dwarf blob. Oh yeah, there comes all the goblin cavalry. Should break up that blob pretty nicely. Oh no, it won't, because the dwarfs were winning it quite massively. Let's turn some fire over there and let's get the trolls back into action. Let's target over here again. A bunch of the quarrelers came back from routing. I'm going to swing over here and I'm going to take the goblin big boss and come out here and paste up some of these regrouped quarrelers. Alright, Grimgore along with the infantry is holding out, though the dwarfs are doing considerably better in this fight than I expected. I'm going to have to get some of my cavalry away from that infantry fight. Let's come back out here. Swing over here and knock these guys out. Swing back around this way. My arrow boys and goblin archers are starting to take a toll. I'm going to start targeting back in here. This blob right here is ripe for destruction. Let's kind of swing back into this fight. See if we can undo the dwarfs over here. So I've got the goblin big boss in this mess, and sure enough we were able to wrap it all up. So looks like Ungrim Iron Fist is going to eventually go down. He's right here in the center and he's doing very well. In fact, Grimgore got the living snots beat out of him, but he did get 56 kills. Let's take all my missile units and target Ungrim, because he should be fairly vulnerable to missiles. And then let's start getting my cavalry units. And we'll start running down dwarfs. So yeah, I'm just going to take all my archers and start firing at Ungrim. Should be able to wipe him out. I'm going to keep... it looks like I lost my other lord too, though my black orcs are still alive. I'm going to let Ungrim just sit there and eat it from my black orcs. Try and roll down as much of this blob as we can. Let's stop firing the Doom Diver, who got 140 kills. Yeah, so the... just orc boys and these big uns. Let's get the big uns away from Ungrim. Let's just send these boys in here. Like I said, I'll just let my archers kind of finish the job here. Yeah, my cavalry's running down a bunch of dwarfs in the background. Looks like the archers kind of are slowly doing their work. As soon as those boys are out of the way, the archers should be able to make short work of Ungrim. He's not going to have the best missile protection, and he's getting completely singled out here. Here he is. He's now open to be just completely focused out. Oh, he is taking a beating. My own guys are going to be taking a beating now too. Let's get in there. So I'll get in and finish off Ungrim. It's like the cavalry's had its heyday over here and killed most of the remaining dwarves. Ungrim won't rout, so that's why it's going to be a fight to the death like this. Let's take all of our missile units and kind of reassign. I don't want them firing at will right into my own infantry. Hopefully I don't get Grimgore injured. I'm going to see if we can get in here and take out Ungrim. Come on. Get him, Grimgor. Get him. Get him. Alright, Grimgor finally got a hit in there. See if he can finish it. Come on, finish him. There's too many units in the way, and Grimgor's taking some damage because of it, but it looks like Ungrim finally went down. He definitely went down in a blaze of glory. Good grief, man. That guy did not want to die. But there you go. A couple of pretty massive victories for Grimgor's army, and we're starting to build up some chevrons on the troops. So definitely worthwhile. Unit rank 3, we're already up to unit rank 5, so the Black Orcs are unit rank 5. Doom Divers are unit rank 9. So we're getting some really nice stuff done here with the chevrons. We got the Crown of Command, which is going to make someone unbreakable. Alright, so now we can go head up to Varunca Hills. We're starting to take back some of our settlements. This building is redundant. So let's maybe... wondering whether or not we should build up defenses in this province, but let's focus on just getting some growth done first. That's going to be all the time I have for this episode. I am going to just knock out the rebels at Mount Squighorn real quick. That's not going to be too difficult. Like I said, should bolster the fightiness of this particular stack, which needs doing. So there we got some extra fightiness. We picked up a chevron for this guy. Let's finish off Du Bois there. And let's see how... Yes, we're actually turning positive public order up here, so that's fantastic at Mount Gunbad. So things are actually looking really good for us at the moment. I will be back on the next episode to bring you some more sweet Total War action with Grimgor and his hordes as we continue to conquer the old world and remind them who the strongest war boss is. If you enjoyed the video, make sure and click the logo down in the bottom right-hand corner and subscribe. And appreciate MSI sponsoring the build that's helping me to capture this content. HeirofCarthage, signing out.